It's one of the most overlooked battles of the American Revolution. The 1780 Battle of Kings Mountain, which took place on the North Carolina-South Carolina border, is a turning point which will start the inevitable downfall of the British Empire in North America. Overall British command in the South was turned over to Lord Charles Cornwallis. Cornwallis, in turn, will have two key aides with him, Banastre Tarleton and Patrick Ferguson. Ferguson, who will do battle at Kings Mountain, was a career British officer. His job is to go out into the countryside to rally Loyalist troops. He's told to bring in 4,000 Loyalists, and to do so he must go into the taverns, into the squares, the churches, and meet with the people. At first, Ferguson is very successful in bringing men and women over to the British cause, the Loyalist cause, as it were. A British force at Musgrove's Mill will be bloodily defeated, and Ferguson is sent into a rage, and he will send out word that he will take down any Patriot forces with fire and sword, thus incensing the Patriot forces, leading to an uprising in the South, unforeseen to this point. In an area today known as Tennessee, will be men known as the Over Mountain Men. Simply, they lived over the Blue Ridge Mountains in the Tennessee area. These men were threatened by Ferguson and his fire and sword decree. Together, Isaac Shelby and John Sevier will bring together over 1,000 mountain men and settlers. These folks will get together at a place called Sycamore Shoals on September 25th of 1780. Their target will be Patrick Ferguson and 1,000 Loyalists marching towards Charlotte, North Carolina. The Loyalists will camp at a place called Kings Mountain, which is a place where many people will stop their cattle to graze, and it's a good watering hole. Unbeknownst to Ferguson, the over-the-mountain men were making their way towards his encampment atop Kings Mountain. In early October, the over-the-mountain men riding their horses and bringing their Kentucky long rifles will dismount and start to encircle Kings Mountain. Atop it will be Ferguson with his 1,000 Loyalists. Without support, Ferguson's men will be an easy target. Moving up the hillside, the Patriot forces will close in on Ferguson and his men. Ferguson will order a bayonet charge down the side of Kings Mountain. This will push back the Patriots, but will not deter them. Up the hill once again will come the Patriot forces. And as they do so, Ferguson will be spied by about 9 men who will fire shots at him. 7 will find their mark. Wearing a flannel shirt and told what Ferguson looks like, he was an easy target. Atop a horse, sword in one hand, whistle in his mouth, giving orders with that whistle. Where Colonel Williams will come up to Ferguson, lean down, and in a last defiant act, Ferguson will draw a pistol and fire it into Williams. Williams' men will deliver the coup de grace and kill Patrick Ferguson atop Kings Mountain. Backwoods justice will be served in this now very close-on civil war. Loyalist versus Patriot, neighbor versus neighbor. 36 of the 800 captives will be tried and sentenced to death. 9 of them will actually be hanged. As the over-the-mountain men go home, their war is over. But they've sent a message to Loyalists throughout the South. Do not rise up. This will be the justice fettered out by Patriots. 12 months later, starting with this chain at Kings Mountain, the British and American forces will find themselves at Yorktown. And there, the British force under Lord Cornwallis will surrender to George Washington, essentially ending the American Revolution.